In this session, we're going to examine the importance of team roles in financial management for non-profit organisations. So let's look at some of the key outcomes that we want to cover off in this session. The importance of the team approach by Meredith Belbin. Who's in the team? Sound financial management processes. And what are the skills required for each role in the financial management of your non-profit organisation? So I just want you to take a moment to think about who's in your team, who's involved in financial management at the moment, and potentially who could be involved in that process for your non-profit. Belbin suggests that by understanding your role within a particular team, you can develop your strengths and manage your limitations as a team member within your organisation, and so improve how you can contribute to the team to get the best outcome. I have a quote here from Belbin that talks about a team is not a bunch of people with job titles, but a congregation of individuals, each of whom has a role which is understood by other members. So it's critical for you to understand the role of other team members within your organisation around effectively financially managing your service. Financial management of a non-profit organisation is critical to support good decision making. Non-profit leaders must have the confidence in the organisation's financial information. It's important to know how much money is coming into the organisation, and also then just as critical to know how much is going out to cover the expenses of all of the activities of the services that you're providing. A quote from IBM: "In order to support the agenda for growth through innovation, finance needs to partner more, to analyse and predict, not only just record and report." So I want to take you on a journey through trying to understand who's in your team and understand their role and understand the importance of financial management for your organisation. So, who's in your team of your non-profit organisation? So I'd like you to take a moment to identify the team members and your organisational structure and who's there to support the financial accountability of your non-profit organisation. Generally, in the non-profit sector, under the non-profit model, we would have a bookkeeper, the CEO and the treasurer that would be engaged around the financial management processes. Sound financial management processes begin with identifying the source documents and coding them according to their expense categories and income streams. There's a National Standard Chart of Accounts that has created a data dictionary to help streamline this process. So I just want to step you through the process then around financial management for your organisation, thinking about the documentation and the reason we need to manage our finances in a particular way. So we're going right back to the source documents and the role of the bookkeeper in this explanation, where some of the source documents that your bookkeeper will need to be working with will be invoices, bank statements, checkbooks and the like. They're all the source documents, the very essence of where the transactions are originally recorded that are happening for your organisation. And they're things like the expense items and also the income. So an invoice might have been received from your funders and it would be an invoice for income. That needs to get coded and then allocated into a system. Quite often we're using an accounting program, and in that accounting program there will be some coding. It's up to the bookkeeper and the CEO to work out the relevant codes for the processing of those transactions. This is often done through an accounting package like MYOB, or you can be using a spreadsheet such as Excel spreadsheeting. Really, the ultimate objective of this financial management process is to get us to the end result, which is about reporting. So the kind of reports that we're looking for would be our profit and loss report, or also known as our income and expenditure statement, our balance sheet, and also our cash flow report. So these reports are instrumental in being able to support the decision-making process of your non-profit organisation. I'd like to now talk a little bit more about the roles that are engaged around financial management, and they are the bookkeeper's role, the CEO's role, and the treasurer's role. The bookkeeper provides that data entry process that I've just spoken about that occurs for the service for a particular time period. So entering all of the transactions and processing those transactions for a particular time frame. So that time frame could be a month, could be a quarter, or it could be for the year. So the accuracy of this position is critical to the end result. The end result is the provision of meaningful reports. If the data is entered incorrectly, then the reports will end up being meaningless. The CEO's role is to effectively manage the allocation of resources across the organisation. And to do this, a sound understanding of financial management is critical to be able to manage those resources well. The service needs to be monitored and the figures need to be compared to the budget. So where is the organisation now and where was it hoping to be? So this is known as variance analysis. And the CEO's role is about looking at where the organisation actually is and being able to report that to team leaders about how they're managing their funds and their resources, but also then upwards to the board and the committee of the organisation. The role of the Treasurer, as outlined in the Model Constitution from the Office of Fair Trading, is that it is the duty of the Treasurer of the Association to ensure that all monies due to the Association are collected and recorded and that all payments that are made are authorised. That correct books and accounts are kept showing the financial affairs of the Association, and that the Treasurer reports to the board the financial position and also the performance of the organisation over a given period of time. So the bookkeeper needs to have a thorough understanding of the activities of the organisation, and they also need to be able to run various reports that are going to support the CEO and the Treasurer to receive meaningful data and meaningful financial reports, so that they can see clearly the performance outcomes via the profit and loss report, and also covering a particular period, the financial position of the organisation. This is so that they can review the sustainability of the organisation and be able to field any questions coming from board members at the board meetings. There are key indicators to look for within the financial data that's coming in those reports that are being presented to the Treasurer and the CEO, and it's important to be able to identify these key pieces of information to easily relay the story that the financial reports are expressing about the organisation. For example, an organisation that is reporting a high amount of annual leave accrued on its balance sheet could be an indicator that the staff are not taking their leave on a regular basis. This could be a management issue, but it could also then be a board issue if when we're thinking about the effective allocation of resources for the organisation and we've got annual leave accruing on the balance sheet, could be an unexpected expense incurred by the organisation. What are the skills that are required for each role engaged in the financial management of your organisation? In closing, we're hoping that you're now able to identify the team members that are critical in the financial management of your organisation, so that you're able to bounce the ideas off, check in with those people and look at the activities of your organisation to enable a clearer understanding of your financial situation.